Unfortunately, no matter how hard you try to limit the possibility of errors, they will still happen, usually because the user did something you didn't expect. Fortunately, you can use the try and catch statements to handle errors without the page crashing and displaying an ugly error page. To begin, open the My Project sample file from your Sample Files folder. And open the code behind file of default.aspx. We are now going to add some code that will cause an exception. If you think back to Lesson 3.5, you'll remember that one of the easiest ways to cause an exception is to try to divide by 0. Add the following code to the page load event handler. Int 0 equals 0. Int error equals 1 divided by 0. Now view the page in your browser. Remember that you may need to change the start page for it to appear immediately. If your code pauses, press the Continue button to continue execution. You can now see the error page that would be displayed to the user. Close your web browser now. We are now going to handle the error using try and catch. Change the code in the page load event handler to the following: try, begin curly brackets, then the code that will cause the error, end curly brackets, catch, begin curly brackets, end curly brackets. This C# code will try to run the code between the first set of curly brackets, which is the try statement, and will only run the code between the second set, the catch statement, if an exception occurs. Since there is no code in the catch statement, nothing will happen if there is an error. This is known as swallowing the error, and is considered to be bad practice. View the page in your browser now. This time, the page displays normally. The error still happened, but your try and catch code handled it. Close your web browser now. Next, we're going to retrieve the details of the error. If you want to tell the user what went wrong, or record any errors in a log, you can retrieve the exception object in your catch statement. You examined the exception object in Lesson 3.5. Change the catch line to the following: catch, begin brackets, exception, x, end brackets. This is very similar to adding an argument to a method, as you did in Lesson 6.6. It creates an object called x, which contains the exception object generated by the error. Next, add the following code to the catch statement. That's between the curly brackets. Response.write x.message. This will output the message property of the exception object to the top of the browser window. View the page in your browser now. This time, You can see the error message at the top of the page. Close your web browser now. Try and catch are great for handling errors in specific methods. You should use try and catch whenever you have code that could cause an error, especially if it deals with data that was entered by the user. By using try and catch, you can inform the user if something goes wrong, instead of displaying a default error message. It's possible, however, to handle errors for your entire site. You'll learn how to do this in Lesson 12.2. Close Visual Studio now. You've now completed Lesson 7.6. Use try and catch to handle errors.